Warning. Aspects of Dead on Dave are over the top and meant strictly for entertainment purposes only. Don't take it too seriously and have some fun.
What's going on, Mush Puffs? Welcome back to the Copious Kingdom. I am, of course, your lord, your host, Dead on Dave, and it is Monday, September 10th, 2018, and we are live once again to start off a brand new week, really the first major week that we've had in a long time as far as getting back to the full docket of shows and streams that you're used to. Every single day over on Twitch, 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be live for 2 to 3 hours there, and then we're going to come here 4 p.m. or whenever Tommy's typically finished with his Shot from the Point main show, we will be live. And we have the co-hosts coming back starting tomorrow. Faybel, the Fayenicorn, returns. Tobes returns on Wednesday. Assburger on Thursday. Ryan from CrimsonStudios comes in on Saturday. We have so much going on. A lot to get to today. We have NFL stuff. We've got some Major League Baseball. Just a little bit. Don't worry. Just a little bit. I want to talk about one of the craziest things I've ever seen happen with my Cubs this weekend. And it could alter the entire NL playoff race completely. This weekend, what happened, it's really unacceptable, and Major League Baseball needs to find a fix. It doesn't happen often when you have these type of situations, but still needs a fix regardless. We're also going to get into a few more things. We got some big news out of the wrestling world with Renee Young. We're going to hit that as well. But before all of that, and including, we got a little bit of feel-good story on Twitter, which is just unheard of. But before all that, I want to start with something that boils over from yesterday, and mainly because this is just, you guys know me by now. I don't mess around with these type of things. I come out and I tell you how it is, or I don't talk about something. It's really that simple. When I don't, there's typically a reason. Now, I have no problems getting into dramas, beefs, crazy rigmaroles. I've stood in there and I've swung with the best of them. All right, I've been right there. I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't bother me. However, when it's personal, when I have a relationship with somebody, when I've built, a friendship, not just a business relationship, but a friendship with somebody, I don't talk about it. I don't fucking blast somebody even when they wrong me. Historically, anybody who knows me knows this to be true. It's happened with the Cronin situation. I let him completely go fucking crazy, and I did nothing in retaliation because that's just, it is what it is. He was my friend. I respect my friendships even after they're finished. I'm not saying that to be magnanimous. I'm just telling you my own personal code on things. I will give people the benefit of the doubt until it hurts me. I always have my entire life, and I don't mind doing it. That is my burden to bear. That is my choices, and it fucks me. Unfortunately, it involves my friends sometimes, and it affects them. And I want to make an apology, plain and simple. I'm sorry to each and every single person that came to me for months and just had problems with Kimber. I'm sorry to Tommy C., my best friend in the whole world, who for months wanted to stake that vampire. I'm sorry to so many that had to deal with her bullshit in so many different ways. I justified it. I fucking let it happen. I brought her into the community, and I hold culpability for that. She caused issues with so many people because she was my friend, and I don't like just turning my back on somebody because they have issues, which she clearly does. But I appreciate the fact that she has grinded and she tried to do something great. She's trying to do something with her life. And I wanted to be a part of that, mainly because I do believe in CBD. CBD helped me. See, I don't give a fuck on anything else. CBD helped me. It helped me stream longer. It helped me get over some pain. It helped me in great fucking ways. And I appreciated that too. But I kept my mouth shut for so long over this code that I seem to be the only one who fucking follows. And I'm not, again, not saying that as a pity party. That's my choice. I could have fucking did something long ago. You know, I could have heeded all the warnings. I could have. I didn't. Because I feel like everybody in the community, we're kind of orphans in some ways. So many of us have issues. So many of us have been through so much bullshit. And I respect the fact that we all come from different walks of life. And I try not to shun anyone if I can avoid it. If I can avoid it. I was wrong in this situation. I was wrong. I made clarifications where they probably weren't completely justified to do. I didn't have to make clarifications in places. But when you deal with somebody who's constantly offended, constantly upset, and constantly takes umbrage with everything when it involves them in any way, shape, or form, having no problem getting involved in other people's stuff constantly and consistently, well, then that's, again, that's on me. I should have trusted my gut, and I should have gotten out of the situation a lot sooner than I did, and I got affected because of it. And unfortunately, now more things have happened to where my buddy has had to fucking step in yet again. And it's not the first time that Tommy has done it on my behalf, and I'm sure it won't be the last. You know, it's a hard thing for me because I hate looking like a bitch. You know, I will swallow my pride and look like a bitch when I need to. Tommy is one of my best friends I've ever had in my life. And I appreciate what he did. I do. And he wanted to do it for a long time. And I talked him out of it for a very, very long time. Because I just don't like that personal drama bullshit. So I want to apologize to each and everyone who came to me. And you guys know who you are because there was a lot of you. And warned me about certain aspects. Now I went off earlier on Twitch. I went the fuck off. I did. Because I was pissed off at myself. And I have no regrets for doing it. I don't give a fuck. Because I don't care anymore. I'm tired of the code, and I'm tired of it always biting me in the ass. I'm tired of always being that guy that gets fucked right in the ass by the people that he always tries to protect. It's happened too many times in my life, and hopefully going forward, it's not going to happen again. Now, I'm going to leave it all there. I don't want to get into too much more unless I have to, but trust me, and I'm talking to you, I will if I need to. So that's it, because I'm not going to be threatened. I'm not going to be threatened. I'm not going to be threatened. I'm just not. Not going to threaten me, and you're not going to threaten my friends. My enemies pay more than pay you more. I never paid you, and you never paid me. So, fucking don't get shit twisted. Anyway, let's go ahead and get past all that shit and move on into the fucking future, because that's where everything is going, and we got so many things to actually talk about that are meaningful and good. And let's get right to it. We're going to start today. You know, I want to go to a feel-good story that we don't really get to do on this channel very often, because who likes feel-good stories? And even more so, who likes feel-good stories when they're about cats? And I want to give a little bit of love to my good friend Everyone Lies for researching the story. He did a fantastic job, as he always does. As there's a cat-saving story going on involving somebody who has been much maligned in the past. But a good act is a good act, so let's give it a little bit of love. Tonka Sauce saves a kitten. Holy shit, this is fantastic. Is this a lead story? No, not really. We're just going to pay a little bit of homage to it because it's cool. And I want to give you guys the information of where you can find the GoFundMe for this little kitten that Tonka Sauce fucking saved. It's absolutely amazing. It's really cool. He put this damn GoFundMe up for this cat trying to save its life, and it really is just a cool story. It's a badass thing. It's a cool thing, and I want you guys to go give it some love. Here it is in the chat. I'll put it in the description box before the end of the stream. I would have done it earlier, but I'm awful. Look at this little motherfucking kitten, and you can read all about little Einstein. Very, very good cat. It really is an incredible thing. He's getting memed for it. It is funny and all of that, but it's cool. It's a cool thing. It was this kitten outside of the house, outside of his house, and he just found it and took care of it and tried to take it to the shelter and didn't want to leave it there. If nobody, you know, comes and saves it, he's going to fucking take care of it. It's a really cool story that I don't want to get into too much as far as, because it's not a big news story. But you know what? We don't get good shit very often. We don't get good things. We don't talk about all the positivity going on sometimes on this cesspool of social media. So give a little bit of love to Tonka Sauce for the very good deed that he's done with this cat. And already $300 has been raised for the kitten. Pretty damn cool. If you guys want to support it, please do so. Very, very nice story there. So again, thank you everyone, Lies, for getting me the information on that story. And I just wanted to start there. All right. Moving forward into the wacky world. Everything really does revolve around me in my life. And this is no different. We're going to go into week 1 of the NFL. Just a little bit. Not a whole hell of a lot. If you watched the kickoff show with myself, Jim, and Bango from SCR, Soul Crushing Radio, over on his Twitch channel, SCR Jim, yesterday, well, you will know that we got a lot of stuff wrong. And I got a lot of stuff wrong. I got more wrong than anyone else, I think. A lot wrong. Crazy amounts. Copious amounts wrong. It was insanity. However, there was some stuff that happened that I think we should talk about that are quite interesting. 2 things in particular. We don't see them very often. We had a comeback that affected me, and I'm going to get that in a second. And then we had a tie, which we don't see very often, but it happened. And it's really one of those interesting situations that revolves around players and streaks and all kinds of stuff. So if you didn't know, last year, Cleveland Browns went 0-743. They cannot fucking win a game to save their lives. Last year, it was so bad, but they improved a lot. On paper, they are one of the most improved teams, I think, in the NFL going into this season. They had an opening game against the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday, who were going through all kinds of upheaval of their own. And we had a situation with a major star in the game, a top 5 player in the game, and Le'Veon Bell not wanting to report to the team. We're not going to get into all the stuff when it comes to that, but because we've already covered it ad nauseum. But some things started happening yesterday. The guy who's replacing Le'Veon Bell, a 23-year-old second-year player by the name of Connors. Is it John Connor? Is this a Terminator thing? I don't know. I don't care. I'm barely fucking coherent at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. He comes in and he lights the fucking game on fire. Now, over 100 yards, had a score. Looked fucking great. Looked really good, in fact. And after the Browns died, Le'Veon Bell takes a shot at Pittsburgh, even though he doesn't necessarily call it a shot, makes a little bit of a monocle meme out there, and it was pretty damn interesting to me. And of course, he says it was not a shot, but everything's just a meme, bro. Everything's just a joke, so it really doesn't matter. But it is the beginning of something potentially that could change a lot. The franchise tag in the NFL really does have issues. If Le'Veon Bell, the player of his type of caliber, even if everything goes awry, and he ends up not playing for Pittsburgh one snap this year, which I think is possible the better this 23-year-old kid plays, there's going to be a lot of people talking about change that needs to happen, because the fact that we're without one of the best players in the league over a contract thing is a fucking disgusting fact that the NFL really should be ashamed of. This should not happen with any players, let alone a player of this caliber. It's ruining the product on field. It's not good for the team. It's not good for the opponents. And it's not good for the league. It's just another embarrassing fucking blight that has happened under the watchful eye of Roger Goodell, the worst commissioner in the history of sports. I don't think there's ever been anyone worse than this guy at his job. Oh my God, Roger Goodell is uproariously bad at what he's supposed to do. Because what's the job? There's only one job of a commissioner. Only one. You might think there's more. Remember, commissioners all work for the owners. They're hired by the league. Okay? They only have one job: to protect the integrity of the game. That's it. That's all you have to do. And this guy can't even fucking do that on a goddamn constant basis. Thank you very much, Ricochet, for the $5. Good way to start the stream. I appreciate that. We will do beer chugs at the end of the stream and the end of the show, so I don't end up getting belligerent on stream. We will go ahead and do a little hat change for you. But if we end up getting the $15, we'll do a beer chug, and every $15 that we get throughout the course of the stream will lead to more chugs. That is exactly what we'll do. Mick Foley was pretty bad. That's funny. Different commissioner, different sport. That's not a sport. That's wrestling. It's different altogether. No, I disagree, Nikita. David Stern was not as bad as Goodell. Goodell is, my God, the NBA is going to be around forever. It lived past the Angel of Stern. The NFL, they keep going with these type of... The NFL will be unrecognizable in 5 years, and a lot of that has to do with just how awful Roger Goodell is at his job. But I digress. So you have this situation that continues to build. We have a really fucking just bad situation that happens with Cleveland and bad weather conditions, which, by the way, gotta give a lot of credit to Bango. We shit on Bango so hard yesterday during the kickoff stream for the NFL show, First and Punt, which is the most appropriately named show ever. We shit on him because he made a joke about the weather being the big deciding factor in the game, and he was. He was right. He was 100% right. The weather was the biggest deciding factor in that game. Unbelievable. We gave him so much shit. He ended up being 100% right. Fantastic moment. So that was one of my favorite things that happened yesterday. But unfortunately, I also had something happen yesterday that I didn't like so much in the NFL, in the old Shield. And that, the Bears. I got fooled again, kids. Have not watched professional football in about 5 to 6 years. Just fell out of love with it. Football used to be my main jam, especially with the Bears. My God, you talk during Bears games. We had issues. It was bad. But because of doing the show with Jim, because I've discovered FanDuel, being over here in the States, I can now use FanDuel and all that. I've gotten a little bit of resurgence in my love and passion for the old NFL, and at least, you know, for my Bears. And we had this incredible goddamn thing happen yesterday. For the first half, for almost 3 quarters, the Chicago Bears looked amazing. Amazing. I mean, not good, not great. Amazing. Khalil Mack was eating everybody's lunches on the field. My God, he was snatching weaves, man. He was taking lunches, eating them. Nobody had a fucking clue what to do with this guy, and he played in a limited basis yesterday, as did Roquan Smith, the big rocket ship that we got out of the draft this year. Fantastic player who had a great moment in his debut as well. First snap, he had a fantastic debut. And the first snap is exactly where we're going to start, because that first snap of Roquan Smith was the first domino in what led to one of the better, more magnificent comebacks that we've seen, let alone just in prime time, but in NFL in a long time. It was a great story that was told, and unfortunately, once again, it happened to my Bears. Unfortunately, once again, it happened to us by one culprit, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why we have the last 25 years, it's just been misery with the Packers, with quarterbacks who just tend to do these type of things. So Roquan Smith, on his very first snap, goes in and sacks Aaron Rodgers, takes him down to the ground. His knee is not good. You can see he's in a lot of pain. He gets carted off the field. When players get carted off the field, they don't come back. They don't return from that. There's no coming back from that most of the time. You can't walk off in your own power, which every NFL player, every sportsman out there wants to do. You never want to be carted off. You never want to be carried off. You want to go under your own power no matter what the situation is. So when he goes out, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh man, I did not like that, because I don't want Aaron Rodgers to be hurt. I just don't want him to play football again, but be healthy and happy. And I certainly don't want him to go out like that. An injury. And had Aaron Rodgers not returned, the Bears go on to win this game 172-0. The Packers maybe win 2 games this year. Everything changes. Mike McCarthy might be in trouble. Everything changes from that one moment. Then halftime happened. Then halftime happened. And after all these legends of past Green Bay Packers teams came out on the field, somebody starts coming out of the tunnel, and it's Aaron fucking Rodgers. He's pulling a straight-up Willis Reed. Now, I wasn't sure if he was going to get back on the field. I wasn't sure. He was still limping a little bit. It looked like he might have had a brace on, but just his presence on the sideline, I knew it was going to fire up the Packers. The Bears ended up scoring. I think they scored a field goal on the first drive of the second half, and then it just became more of the same, that if you're a Bears fan, you have eaten so much of Aaron Rodgers' cock that you would think that your name was once Olivia Munn. They're no longer together, so that's why I had to say once was. It was so fucking insane to me to watch Aaron Rodgers barely on some plays, barely even be able to move, but then continuing to throw these fucking 60, 70-yard bullets down the goddamn sidelines. And next thing I know, the Bears are like about to fucking lose the game. Yeah, this was over. It was done. I couldn't believe that it went in such an opposite direction. The Bears had a great opportunity. There was about 9 minutes left in the game. The Packers get within 6 points. The Bears get the football back. Haven't been able to move the ball much in the second half. Mitch Trubisky, you know, the number 2 overall pick last year out of North Carolina, comes in. He looked really good in the first half, started looking gun shy in the second. Looked like some of the play calling got very, very stagnant and predictable. And this is just something that for some reason Bears coaches and players always fucking does, and I never know why, but it happens. They take the foot off the gas, and Trubisky just did not look confident. He looked scared. He looked shook. It was awful to watch. It really was just a terrible, terrible thing. I could not believe how bad this really got. But in that last 8, there was 9 minutes left in the game. He comes on the field. He leads this great drive. Takes 7 minutes off the fucking clock. Drives it all the way down, I think, into the red zone of the Packers. Just had we were about to make something great happen. Everything was looking fantastic. They stall out. They end up giving the ball back to Green Bay. And it took all of 20 seconds for Aaron Rodgers to once again throw another nice little pass. And boom, the Packers are leading. And that is basically, essentially, the ball game. It's over. And once again, I've been duped. Once again, the Bears took my lunch because I believed that the Bears were going to win this game and really catapult themselves as an actual factor in the NFL. Now look. There's no question the Bears turned a lot of heads last night, even in defeat. Even in a loss, they turned a fuck ton of heads in that game. People are now going to be taking that Bears defense especially a hell of a lot more serious. And there were times on offense where it looked really good. Allen Robinson looked like the old Allen Robinson at times. The running backs did their jobs. Everything really looked fantastic. I was really happy about it, man. It was great. Things were going in the right direction. And then it all fell apart. And once again, I got fooled. But I think the Bears are going to really have a nice season. It looks like they set themselves up into a place where they're going to be able to go and be competitive for the entire year. I don't see the Bears getting blown out too often, not with that defense. And I'll tell you what, my favorite thing that I saw at night, and I hope that I can find it. If I was better at my job, I'd already have it up. But the Oakland Raiders has a coach by the name of Jon Gruden. I gotta find it. I gotta get it because it's too good. Jon Gruden is, of course, being blamed a lot for everything that happened with the situation with Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack, you know, one of the best defensive players, if not the best defensive player in football. At least he was a season and a half ago. Could not lock him up long term. It was a very embarrassing situation. And during the course of the game, Jon Gruden tweets out, and I want to show you the tweet because it really is fucking amazing. Jon Gruden tweets out, I want to find it. Please let me find it because it's too good. All right, yeah, I did. I'll tell you what. He says, I'm not sure who that number 52 is for Chicago, but that guy can play. That's the type of player you want on your team, man. I'm going to have to do some research on this guy. And then he responds to himself, oh. Okay, maybe some Raiders fans are not going to find the humor in this. Me personally, and that's the wrong, what is, oh, there we go. Me personally, this is hilarious. What the fuck? You know what? I hate you. You know, this is why you do things in prep work, kids. This is why you do things in prep work. So this is absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure the number 52 is for Chicago, but that guy can play. Type of player you want on your team, man. I'm going to have to do some research on this guy. And then, oh, but I think, but as you can see, as people were covering it and going crazy. It's not the real John Gruden. It's not the real John Gruden. It's not, I think it's the faux Gruden. But still, one of the funniest things that I saw all night. All night. Such a great thing because it looks like his account. And it talked in the same mannerisms. If it would have been the real John Gruden, it would have been the greatest thing to ever happen on Twitter. It's just absolutely amazing. To be able to have that type of, you know, this is what happens. It's so good to see something like that. I wish it would have been real for a little while last night. I believed it was real. It was absolutely fantastic. It really was great. So fucking fantastic. Bear, I'm convinced John Gruden is actively trying to destroy the Raiders from the inside because he's still pissed they got rid of him years ago. It's possible he's doing the NWO thing, you know? He's doing what Vince McMahon did when he brought in the NWO to the WWE, unleashing the cancer onto the company to kill something that he once loved. And that could be the possibility, but I highly doubt it. So overall, between Fitzpatrick Magic, the shootout in New Orleans, the nail biter in New England, where once again we had a catch problem, a catch folly, that benefited the Patriots. Not saying anything, Patriots fans, massholes. I'm just saying, you guys got a call. It really did benefit you guys, even though it's really on the coach there. The coach of the Texans said one of the most retarded things I've ever seen in my life. Basically, how this broke down was Gronkowski made a catch, not really, in under 2 minutes of the game left. Put them in perfect position, and that catch would lead ultimately to a score and allow the Patriots to get the victory. So the coach comes on in the press conference and says, that's not my job to call timeout there because he can't review it under 2 minutes. It's only an official review, but you can call a timeout and give the refs an opportunity to go review it. He doesn't do that. Instead, he says, it's not my job to do their job. Motherfucker, it's your job to win the game. It is your job as an NFL head coach to do everything in your power to win the game. And this is the shit that drives me crazy. The personal accountability shit. Because he blames the referees instead of his own faux pas and calling the timeout to be able to actually get the refs to look at it. It was insane. Bear. Gronk didn't catch the ball. Brady was running everybody to the line before anyone could stop. Was genius. They still should easily have called a timeout here. Easily. He knew it. He said it. He said it in the post-press conference. He knew it wasn't a catch. This is the coach of the Texans. Knew it wasn't a catch, but he couldn't do anything because the refs didn't stop the... No. It is your responsibility. Stop that fucking play. The Patriots are driving down the field. You have to stop that play. You, as the head coach, have to do everything in your power with your vantage point, with the people who are in your ears. You've got to throw a goddamn fucking timeout card, symbol, sign, flag, whatever. You got to, because that was not a catch. It wasn't even an ambiguously not catch. That ball was moving around, touched the ground. It was not a catch. In a world where we no longer know what a catch is, that was pretty clear. And that is on the head coach, in my opinion, but still. And you're right, Bear. Bear going to the line as fast as he did is just another reason why Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm not here to suck Tom Brady's dick, though. I want to bury a head coach, and that's exactly what I wanted to do there. All right, as we're moving along with the show, don't forget, guys, I want you to get into the Discord. I want to hear from you. I need to hear from you. I want you to be giving me all your comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and whatever else you might have. I needs to know what's going on with your beautiful faces, whatever you want to talk about. We will be taking your calls throughout the course of the show once we're finished. Remember also, if you want to see some beer chugs at the end of this show, we're $10 away from our first beer chug of this stream. If you want to participate and you want to show a little bit of love to the channel and see a fat guy chug a beer faster than you've ever seen before in your life, well, that's just a little extra perk that we put on the donations. All right, so there you go. Well, let's keep going, shall we? Let's move on into more sports. We got three more sports topics, really. And then the first one's the easy one with the WWE. Of course, Monday Night Raw tonight is just a little bit away. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic show. This is typically the time of year when WWE kicks into that next level and starts really putting out the product that everybody wants to see the entire year. They know they have to compete with the NFL. They're not going to, but you know what I mean. They know they have to put up something great to get people talking, and typically they do ramp stuff up around this time of year. And that's exactly what we're seeing with some of the things that are going to happen on Monday Night Raw. I believe there's some big names that are going to be on there. Triple H is going to be there tonight, Mick Foley. But the biggest thing to happen to Monday Night Raw, and one of the best announcements, and I understand exactly why they waited until today to make the announcement, because timing is paramount in these situations. Finally, Renee Young is officially the third cast member of that announced team. She's made it. She's finally done it. And Audi 5000 goes the Coach, who I do love. The Coach did a video for me once. Somebody paid him for it. I mean, an old friend of mine bought a whole bunch of these shout-out videos from wrestlers and such. And this was one of them. It was back for 500 subs. The Coach gave me a very nice video. He was very, very cool. It was great. It was a really cool thing. And I love Coach. I've always been a fan of his. I think he's very entertaining. This run with the WWE has not been good. He's never been a great announcer, but I've always liked his presence and his character and the way that he holds himself. And he's a good advocate of wrestling, a big advocate of wrestling. And he's a good, he really did help bring WWE over to ESPN with all the coverage that they did. And the WWE was very thankful for that, so much so that they've given him a lot of leeway in what he does with the company, moving in and out or whatever, even though he's been awful on commentary since he's joined. He has been so bad. I won't say he's worse than Booker T. Bear, but I will say he's pretty goddamn bad. Renee Young has been with the WWE for a very long time. You might also know her as Mrs. Ambrose. That's right, Dean Ambrose's wife. Smoking hot Renee Young, the Canadian, who's got a very, very good sports background herself. She was part of one of the bigger sports networks up there in Canada and was a good presence for a long time. People really like her. She's very knowledgeable. She's well-spoken. She's gorgeous. She's funny. She seems like to be one of the boys. Everything you want in an employee as a person, everything. She is that total package. And she's done everything the WWE's wanted her to do. She joined the cast of Total Divas. She's been the backstage announcer for a long time. She does the panels for the kickoff shows. She really is a jack of all trades. But everybody has known forever that their best combination for commentary has not been met. They have not put their best foot forward when it comes to commentary. Because I think everybody can be in agreement that Michael Cole probably needs to go, but he could be tolerable in certain situations. Corey Graves, who was once looking like he was going to be the next Bobby Heenan, has just turned into a babbling mess most of the time, and he's very hard to watch and even harder to fucking look at. And then, you know, so what are you going to do with those two guys? They're well established, so they got to stay in there. But the better combination, because they have better announcers at different levels of WWE, best combination would be Nigel McGuinness, Mauro Ranallo, and Renee Young. I think Bear said that earlier in my chat, and I 100% agree with him. Renee Young is amazing at what she does, and those three together would be incredible. We've seen Mauro and Renee together before at NXT and such, and they're very good. They work very well together. Of course they do. They're fantastic at their fucking jobs, and Nigel McGuinness can work the heel stuff better than almost anybody else. He's great. Hold on. So, Renee finally gets her dues. She finally gets her just desserts, and now she is on the announce team. And it's the perfect time to put her in. Whether Coach wants to go do more Golf Channel shit or whatever the case may be, to make the announcement today. Monday Night Football kickoff, 2 football games. One's probably going to be starting very soon, all that stuff. This is the type of announcement, especially with the upcoming all-women's pay-per-view, Evolution, which is going to be fucking amazing to watch. This is the right move. You can't go into that event touting all of your stuff about women and everything, regardless of the Saudi Arabia stuff. That's another conversation entirely, even though it's not really. You can't make these big, grandiose type of announcements about your division if you don't give somebody who's deserving the chance. And there's no question that Renee Young is deserving. big props, and I'm so proud. Fuck, I can't talk. Of Renee Young. She's gonna kill it. She's been doing well when she's on Monday Night Raw. She's done a really good job, and I love the fact that Corey Graves and Michael Cole will no longer gang up on the third guy, because you can't. They found out that they could gang up on a minority as long as he's black, and nobody will care, because they are just awful to Booker T, Coach, and Byron Saxton. But you can't do it to a woman. Not in entertainment, not in 2018, not after #MeToo. Can't fucking do it. Cannot do it. Even if she's a white woman, can't do it. Renee Young is safe from that scrutiny, and so far it's been that way, and I'm really, really enjoying what they're going to be able to do together, and we'll see what goes forward. She's already started to kind of mold herself a little bit. I hated the way she put over the Bellas last week. It was insulting, but other than that, she's done a great job. She's done a great job, and I can't wait to see what she does going forward. It's a good move. WWE finally gets one right. Took them a little while, but they got there, so I'm happy. We're going to move on from that. We're going to go into a little bit of Cubs stuff, and this is going to be a quick one too, and then I'm going to end with a kind of a controversial topic. I have never in my life seen anything like what the Cubs have gone through with weather this year. Chicago Cubs, one of the best teams in baseball, certainly the top team in the National League, at least for the fucking moments. God damn it. Goes into the weekend with the Washington Nationals really needing to gain momentum going into what this week was going to be. We have Milwaukee coming into town for a critical 3-game stretch, considering we're only now 2 games ahead of them in the standings. If we would have been able to sweep Washington, we would have been able to get something going and just play good baseball through the weekend, or play any baseball through the weekend. We could have put our foot on Milwaukee's throats and claim the division for ourselves. Claim the #1 seed in the National League playoffs. But Mother Nature decided to tell us to go fuck. Eat a big double-decker shit sandwich is what Mother Nature told us to do. Because this weekend, some of the most ungodly weather and just perplexing weather at times. It wasn't even all the weather at some points. Major League Baseball made terrible decisions. The umpire crew made terrible decisions as far as when to cancel games, when to postpone games. Fact is, the Cubs and Nationals don't play again this season, certainly not in Washington. The Cubs don't have many off days left. Neither do the Nationals. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. I apologize for that. I'm jittery, I guess. I don't know. So you have all these elements. You have to get these games in. And they made the players wait on the field in the rain for a couple of hours at one point, not stopping the game in other points, restarts, postponements, 2 games canceled. The game yesterday, after some time of again making the players wait, they cancel it yet again, reschedule it, and now the Cubs have to play basically 30 games in 30 days. It's insanity. And this could drastically affect the National League playoffs. It really could. It's unfair. I'm not trying to be like poor Cubs and all this. I would do this for any team that goes through something like this. But this was the 9th game this year that the Cubs have had canceled due to weather. The only other team with that many are the Yankees. But none of those situations has affected the playoff race because Boston was so damn dominant this season. But this is affecting the playoff race in National League Central. And Major League Baseball's got to come up with something better. I don't know what the answer is because it's weather. What can you fucking do? I don't know if you shorten the season a little bit, you stretch out the games a little bit more. Something needs to be done because this weather is getting insane. The last few seasons, we've had snow going into the beginning of the year. In April, it doesn't warm up until late May, it seems like, anymore. It's fucking insane, and baseball's not doing anything to fix it. In fact, they're going the opposite way. They're starting the seasons earlier, and they're stretching them out farther going into now November, as we've seen the last couple of World Series go into November. You can't have this. You can't play baseball in the cold, and now we're having up to 20, 25, 30 games playing in unbelievably cold weather in 95% of the country. And there's a problem here. Jacob Scarborough, hi, fat man. I'm talking to you. Are you happy? Jesus Christ. It's crazy. I don't know if they, like, Makat says all domes all the time. I don't know if that's the answer. I have no clue. I don't want to see that because I don't want Wrigley Field to go away. But this is a major problem that's affecting, yeah, I care about it right now because it's affecting me and my team. I don't want to see the Cubs go out like this. Now, you could say, and this is fair, shut up. They have to play the game. And you're right. Shut up. They still got to play the games. They still have to win those games. And hopefully the Cubs will sweep the Milwaukee Brewers and this will not be an issue. But because God hates me, and I'm fairly certain when the doctor pulled me out, the first thing that happened was they gave me the finger, was just the Cubs are going to suffer. Just like the Bears last night. I'm going to suffer. Jacob, can I call you? Jump into my Discord. I'm taking calls in just a moment. So, if you have any good suggestions, post them on my Twitter. I'll tell you what, whoever gives me the best suggestion, meme or not, how Major League Baseball can fix this serious problem happening to teams now in the game, I'll give you a sub to my Twitch channel. How about that? Free sub for a month. If you, whoever wins this competition, if anybody even does it. P-Gaze, you selfish Cub fan, fucking ain't right. Eat my butthole. How about that? Final story. We're going to wade into the controversial a little bit. We had some high-quality tennis over the weekend. We had the U.S. Open reach its climax. And Serena Williams, who is about 372 years old, actually, I think she's about 36, 37 now, something like that, was in the finals against a young, upcoming, but very, very, very talented young Japanese player, Naomi Osaka. They had a match that was pretty one-sided for the most part. It looked like Naomi was going to win. She won the first set and all this stuff. But then a big controversy happened because the line judge in the situation goes and cites that Serena Williams has violated a rule for coaching. Her coach on the side, and this happens all the time in tennis. We have coaching constantly. This is nothing new, but it is against the rules at certain events, certain venues, and this is one of them. And it was absolutely insane to see what would happen after that. You would think that just a small, tiny, little bit of infraction would not cause a big deal. But this is where principality comes into it. This is where principles play a factor, because Serena Williams could not take the fact that this umpire would call her out on a violation, and in her mind call her a cheater, which those words were never uttered. Said, you were being coached, violation. And that was really it. There was no other. I think she might have gotten a point taken away because of it, something of that nature. Really not a big deal, okay? Serena continues to protest. She ends up smashing her racket onto the ground, destroying it. She gets a conduct violation, and it really ends up costing her the game, the individual game that they were playing at the time. She goes into a goddamn tirade on the sidelines, an absolute fucking tirade. You know, she's saying, you know, I'm not a cheater. You owe me an apology. She calls him a thief. You're stealing the game from me. All these things. Serena has had a history of being a bad loser in the past. We've seen this before. It's unfortunate when it happens. She's an ultra competitive person, just like her sister, all of that stuff. She is. We've seen these things, using your sway, using your leverage to kind of, not intimidate, but certainly get your way. She's the biggest name in the sport. She has that type of favoritism. But here's the thing, and this is not a burial of Serena Williams as much as you might think it is. Serena has fault here. I actually like that pun. Serena has a big fault. She really does. She could have let this go. She could have. She didn't have to break her racket. She didn't have to do everything she could to take away this moment from this young rising star. Really didn't. Not even a little. But she did. She took the moment. She robbed. She was a thief to Naomi Osaka on a very big moment, maybe the biggest moment she's ever going to have in her career. It's unbelievable to me that that's not getting more attention. And why is it not getting more attention? Because Serena then goes to start making about gender. And maybe she has a point. Fact is, male players do a hell of a lot worse than what Serena Williams did. I guarantee if we play back the tapes over the U.S. Open of this year, there were a lot of people who said a lot worse things to judges than Serena did and probably didn't get much of a violation. But after she goes on her tirade, she gets another conduct penalty. It just goes farther and farther. Serena's in tears. She goes on to drop the entire game. And now it's no longer about this kid, this 20-year-old really good star that could be huge in the game that women's tennis desperately needs because the Williams can't play forever. Venus is already basically a walking corpse. Serena can't possibly keep going too much longer and being as dominant as she is. They simply don't have a lot of stars to promote the fucking sport. So a changing of the guard would have been such a great story. Having Osaka stand next to someone like Novak Djokovic, who also won this weekend. It would have been great to see. But we don't get that because now the story is all about Serena. And it's not even fully her fault. In fact, most of the blame, I believe, goes on the line judge. This is a guy that, again, you have to protect above everything else, protect the integrity of that game that you are umpiring. And he did not do that. He could have told Serena in no uncertain terms, you need to let this shit go or I'm going to give you more of a penalty. Let it go. Play the game. We'll fucking hash this out later. Because there's nothing else that we're going to do about it now. But he didn't. Instead, he sat there. He just argued back with her. It was like two petulant fucking children. And Makad, you're 100% right. Serena was losing even without the penalty. But she's not. Now nobody's talking about that because they're talking about the thievery that happened. Whether or not you believe that it's right that this judge is probably going to be done. And this is a guy, by the way, who's had a sparkling career in tennis. Fantastic career. He never had an issue. This guy is good for this stuff. But not in this case. And it was an absolute nightmare. What a fucking disaster for women's tennis. And they need positive stuff going forward. They need new stars because they are out. The clock is quickly ticking down to zero as far as star power goes in women's tennis. But I guess it's another problem for another generation. Some people feel that they, at the top of the sport, need to preserve the integrity of the sport that they're playing for the next generation. Other people, it's all about themselves. And I think we have a little bit of both here. There's culpability on the side of the judge, no question, but Serena Williams, being the biggest name in the sport, has to hold herself to a higher standard. Fight the battle afterwards. You want to make a fucking big grand display about, you know, equality and everything. I'm not even sure if we have that sexism situation with this guy. Cannot tell you that. Can't see in his heart. And neither can she. There was a better time and place to make a statement rather than rob a young rising star her moment in the sun. And that's unfortunate that we see this far too many times in these individualized sports. We see it a lot. Golf will see it, especially when Tiger Woods came onto the scene. And that was a racial thing, no question. And the Williams sisters have absolutely, undoubtedly faced racism throughout their career at times. There are things that people can point to that are clear as day. There's been some fucked up shit that has been said about their family by other players, predominantly white, in a predominantly white sport. It's an uphill battle, but it's not that anymore. Serena Williams is the top name. Maybe not, like, you could make an argument with her, 23 Grand Slam titles, that she's the biggest name in the sport, period, regardless of what fucking gender we're talking about. It really is incredible. Jacob, I don't know why you keep trying to derail the show here, buddy, but I mean, you can call in. Who was the YouTuber that used to do copy? I still do that shit. I'm getting back into doing the wrestling, but if you would have been paying attention to anything that's going on in my life, you'd already know that already, but it's okay. Come on in, ask your questions afterwards. Stop trying to derail the show. All right. That all being said, let's go to the calls and see what type of callers we have up in there, because I don't have anything else. We'll start with my Bear. What's going on, Bear? You're live with Dead on Dave. What do you got?
Hey David, what's going on?
What's up?
Alright, so just quick thing. One thing. Tony Romo's going to the Super Bowl this year. We know that for a fact.
Yes, Tony Romo, absolutely.
That's great. He made it. He did it.
He did it. He finally is going to get to a Super Bowl. Maybe not in the way that he wanted, but he's finally going.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's the best at what he's doing now anyway, so.
Also, hell of a golfer, too.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. He's qualified for a couple PGA Tour events. He's a hell of a golfer.
Oh, wow. I guess when athletes get older, they kind of get good at golf or something. I don't know.
Well, great athletes can do great things.
Maybe. I wouldn't say he's great, but, you know, he's up there.
You wouldn't say that Tony Romo was a great athlete?
No.
Really?
No.
I disagree there.
He had a couple chances.
I disagree there.
He had some chances. He had some opportunities.
Look, Tony Romo's more than likely going to the Hall of Fame. As much as I don't like Tony, he's going. He's probably going.
In 20 years, maybe.
Yo, he's not a first balloter. I agree with that. But Tony Romo's going to go. there are lesser quarterbacks.
Philip Rivers will go into the Hall of Fame before he will.
I don't know. I think their careers are kind of very much similar in some ways.
I think Philip Rivers is a better quarterback, though.
He's got better numbers. I'd be willing to bet he's got better numbers, yeah.
I think he's got way better. He has more Pro Bowls to him.
But he hasn't won anything either. But neither one of them has won anything.
Well, I know, but to be fair to both of them, I guess they've been on really shitty teams for their entire
I don't know. The Chargers have had a couple of really good teams. They just always yak it up towards the end of the season. But the Cowboys have had some great teams in that time with Romo. He just can't fight. Come on, there's been some good teams that the Cowboys put on the field.
How many playoffs games has he won?
Yeah, I know. That's an indictment on him, not the rest of the team, though. Tony Romo has been the cause of some of the losses, big time.
This is true. He's just not good in the playoffs.
No, he's a choker. He's a choker.
Yeah, he's like Peyton Manning, but not as extreme.
Hey, Peyton's got his rings, dude, and he makes the best commercials in fucking sports, so I don't want to hear that.
This is true. This is true. Peyton is a very funny man.
He's hilarious. What do you got for me?
All right, so tonight we hear Renee as the official, permanently, hopefully.
Yes.
And hopefully Coach just stays away.
You think he got fired?
No, he's going to the pre-show. I'm pretty sure they just swapped spots.
Yeah, but do you think that that's it? This is just a phasing out process. It's going to be. And do you think that maybe Coach is taking himself out of it? Because there has been some rumors that Coach has asked for a lesser role.
If I were Coach after seeing all the shit online and hearing all the wrestling people talk about stuff on podcasts and stuff, I would be like, all right,
I'm out.
Yeah, this is a lot. I'm out. This is a lot. They're pointing out too much. It's.
Oh no, I think they've got me.
Maybe I did say some stupid shit. Like maybe Ronda Rousey wasn't resting whenever Nia Jax had her bear hug. I don't know.
Hey, okay, I'm gonna defend him on that because I understood.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. Because I understood what he was trying to say in the moment. He was trying to say, you don't give up in the situation. You give a second to rest and recover your mind, and so you can make your next move. And to be fair, right after that, she did get out of it, and she did did that big judo throw onto Nia, and Coach looked like a genius for a second. And they buried him.
He knew what was happening, and he gave it away.
Yeah, he did. But that happens all the time. I mean, it was a setup. They were telling a story, and he just chose some bad words and looked like an asshole. And unfortunately, Graves and especially Michael Cole, my God, they will bury you in a second.
Who was it? I think it was actually Michael Cole, who's like, why are you employed here? I think it was actually Michael Cole who said that. It may have been Corey Graves. It sounds more like Graves, but I think it was Michael Cole who said that.
Which is funny coming from Corey Graves and Michael Cole. Right. It's like, why the fuck are either of them hired after all?
Right, Corey Graves was great when he first started, though. I don't know what. He's just. I don't know. I think there's just too much in his ear now.
Very
he just
possible.
Can't. He can't beat Corey anymore. Or maybe his chick just got tired because he just doesn't. He does the same thing every night.
Yeah. He's gotten really tired, and they don't let him really be him anymore.
And he's not. They don't let him be a heel. Yeah. He takes the side of faces when a heel does something dastardly. No, you're supposed to go with the dude. And,
all right, that's not necessarily true. You got to remember, man. A lot of people were comparing him, and me being one of them, to Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan is always predominantly remembered as just a heel guy. But when it was his guys, and he would sometimes even go a little bit into the faces, not the jobbers, of course, but at times he would be fair. And it was always fun because he was so good at what he does. He's one of the funniest comedians I think we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
At an announce table. And Corey was starting to fit that role. And then it's just with his fights with Booker, the real fights with Booker, the situation with CM Punk, his constant grandstanding that he does.
Bringing up on SmackDown, I think it was a few weeks, it was when Dave Meltzer got blasted on Twitter for bullshit.
Yeah.
When he said Peyton Royce, she looked a little better in NXT. He said the same thing about a million different guys.
Oh, I know. I don't even get me started on that backlash. I tweeted at Peyton Royce about it.
Yeah.
I really bothered me because it's such a double standard. It's retarded. He said Meltzer said nothing wrong. Meltzer said nothing wrong.
He didn't even say she looked sexy and I think she's ugly now. He didn't say that. Like he said she was a little thinner back in NXT. I think she looked a little better.
She looked a little bit better in NXT. That's basically all he said. She looked thinner in NXT. She looked better in NXT. That's all he said.
Right before that, he was talking about Cena, and he was like, okay, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said he looked better a few years ago than what he is now. Like his body looked better.
Right.
And nobody cared, but then he started talking about Peyton Royce, and everybody gave.
Well, yeah, because it's 2018 and it's post Me Too movement, man. You can't say anything anymore.
Oh, this is true.
You know, you can't say shit no more.
But when Corey said, it was on SmackDown when Peyton Royce is in a match, and he just goes, God, this woman just looks great, doesn't she? She looks amazing.
He basically reacts to the Golden Goddess the way that I do about any woman who looks at me. And I want to wear like an oxygen mask. My God.
I listen to a lot of wrestling, even JD from New York. I don't really agree with him all that much, but I really agree with him. I really agree with him with this, that Peyton Royce is only featured as much on SmackDown as she is right now because of Dave Meltzer. That's the only. She would not be as featured.
Because they're awful.
If he didn't say that.
The Iconics are terrible. I mean, like I really liked them in NXT, but they're hot. They're incredibly hot, but they're terrible.
I would marry either of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shit, are you kidding me? Yeah, fuck. All right, you got anything else for me?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the Mae Young Classic Finals? Since you already know who's going to be in it.
Oh, 11, 27, 154. Fuck. Are you kidding? I'm more excited. I gotta be honest, dude. I'm so excited for Evolution altogether. And now the latest rumor that it's starting to get a little bit of rumblings. They could find a way to make this happen. Medusa, and it's just nothing official yet by any stretch. I'm not even hearing it on any of the big dirt sheets. Just see things that I'm seeing on Twitter from Medusa herself, to be fair. Medusa and Nia Jax. I would like to see that. I don't
know. Nia would probably hurt her.
At her age, probably. But I can't think of anybody else that aside from Charlotte. I'd like to see her in Charlotte. That would be fun because they're so reminiscent of each other.
I mean, we're going to get Charlotte and Becky, I'm pretty sure, in a rematch.
But the reason why I want to see Nia Jax and Medusa is because what Medusa had done over her career with bigger women. One of my favorite rivalries in all of wrestling was her and Bull Nakano. Bull Nakano, as the late, great Dusty Rhodes would call her. Fucking fantastic. It was a great rivalry, and it spanned all over the world. And we don't see that anymore. So that's something I would like to see. I always like that bigger woman, smaller woman dynamic. And besides, Medusa's not small by any stretch.
I think Medusa's might be a little old to be with someone. Like, because she's not awful. She's just not great. She has
gravity-based offense. Somebody said that, and it was hilarious. Gravity-based offense of Nia Jax.
It's true. The Isaiah Ross show just said Awesome Kong versus Nia Jax. I think we talked about that before.
It's too on the nose, but I wouldn't mind it. I mean, that was pretty on the nose.
You said last time we talked about this, Awesome Kong coming in WWE just specifically to help Nia Jax.
Yes.
Specifically, that would
show her how to work like that. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome Kong might be one of the better, big women.
Yeah. She needs to play that role to Nia that Big Show played to Braun Strowman. Strowman has talked about this a few times, that Big Show got in his ear and told him how to work like a giant. Woo, yeah. Epic sneeze.
That
Good
was
stuff.
hot.
Yeah, it was. Not bad. Not bad. Hey, big shout out to my dude real quick. I see him in the chat. I hope he didn't already leave. I typed to him. Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. Of course, the man who makes the music for the opening of the show. My good buddy, longtime friend. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you up in here. Give a little bit of love to Real Talk in the chat. If you don't, you have herpes. All right. Anything else, Bear?
Okay. I'm not really all that excited for Evolution. I'm excited for the Mae Young final.
Why?
And to see, I'm hopeful that it'll just be a 5-second squash with Ronda Rousey and Nikki, but
I don't know. I'm a little bit excited. No, I'm not a little bit. I'm incredibly excited. I love the matchups. I love the past, present, and future aspect. I do.
I'm excited for whoever Kyrie faces. Maybe it'll be Shayna again. I'm not sure. If it is, it'll be a great match.
Yeah. They
really
can go there. They have a couple of other options that I think that would work really well.
Yeah. Where does Shayna even go though now?
That's the tough one.
You think they should bring her up?
No, I think that you got to keep her down there. But the problem is, Kyrie can't lose that title already. You know, she hasn't been used very well since she's been down in NXT. They cannot take the title back off of her. She's got to beat Shayna again, but I don't know what happens after that. It's possible maybe Shayna just takes a little bit of cooling down period. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe she just makes a big impact on SmackDown or something, because I don't want to see her and Ronda too close together too quickly.
I think she could run SmackDown for like a year.
Yeah.
And then have her and Ronda face at like next year's Survivor Series and then champion versus champion.
Yeah.
That would be that'd be really good.
That'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
And Ronda would be a better worker by then. Shayna would be insane by then because she's already really good.
I think they're both really good. I think what Ronda does now, she does incredibly well.
Ronda got it so quick. It's ridiculous how quick
I was really worried that she was sloppy and like especially the way she whips people around. I'm finding out that's not the case. These women want to be whipped around by her like that because they trust her. And Ronda has not hurt anyone.
Her throw around Alicia Fox.
Right.
That was like, all right, she's like gonna break her arm on accident or like something.
But apparently they're asking her to do this stuff. They want her to do this.
Are they really?
Yeah, apparently they trust her that much. She's shown that much to where they know she's not gonna hurt them. Ronda has that much control.
She knows what it takes to hurt somebody.
Ronda is one of the best judo practitioners on the fucking planet, period. Period. Does not matter when it comes to gender with that. Ronda Rousey knows how to manipulate the body, and I think that's why she's translating so well to wrestling.
That's probably helped Matt Riddle, and I can't wait to see him blow it up.
Oh, Matt Riddle's gonna be fun. He's gonna be fun.
Oh God.
As long as he doesn't smoke,
he's world champion all over.
As long as he doesn't smoke himself out of the industry, which very well could happen, he should have a really good run. He should have a great.
You know, I think it's so fucking stupid that he got wins removed because of pot.
Yeah.
Pot got him wins removed in MMA.
It's dumb. It's so dumb. I agree.
I agree, suspend him, but how is pot going to help him win a fight?
It doesn't, but it's not the point. At the end of the day, it comes down to it's a rule. It's not even just a UFC rule. It's a USADA thing. It's a commission thing. It's an athletic commission thing. You can't do anything about it. You have to fall within the fucking confines. Once it goes completely illegal throughout the entire country, except for Texas, because I never think it will be legal in Texas. But the rest of the country it will be. Because they'll kill you in Texas and Oklahoma if you have weed. The cops will shoot you. They will execute you. It does not matter. They will kill you. It's fucking ridiculous. My God.
It's true. It happens in Dallas.
Oklahoma's really bad on it too, man. Oklahoma.
Really? I don't pay that much attention to Oklahoma.
Yeah, Two Chainz talked about this. He almost did like a year in prison.
What?
Because they found like point. Yeah, they pulled over his tour bus and he had like 0.3 grams in like fucking residue, and his boy got 6 months in-house arrest and all kinds of shit. He almost went to jail over. It was insane. Oklahoma's really bad on it, and it's not a big shocker. Wow. It's right there on the border.
I didn't know Oklahoma was that bad on it.
Yeah. Only thing that Oklahoma and
Texas was. I know Texas is nuts.
It's the only thing that Oklahoma and Texas has in common.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that might be it. Well, no, Oklahoma has a Whataburger, so they have that.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Restaurant in common. They have one. It's Oklahoma City. It sucks.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Bear. Anything else? Final thoughts?
No, just not. Yeah, nothing. Not really excited for the Evolution show outside of the Mae Young Classic final, really.
Teach their own.
Yeah, because I'm more excited about that match than I have been since maybe Gargano Ciampa won.
I know what you're really excited
I'm really
about.
hyped for that.
You're excited about for Lita and Mickey James. You can admit it. I know.
Oh yeah. I'm really excited. I'm glad she's having a match.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just,
Yeah, get out of here, big dick.
I really didn't think she was gonna have one.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. I know. I was there. I remember.
You were there. You were there. I wish Nate was here.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Love you.
Jesus Christ. Love you too. Holy God. Let's bring in the wolfiest girl you've ever known. What's up, Miss Wolf Girl? What do you got?
Hello. So I've got a few things. I've got my notes here.
Oh, Christ.
Yes, I do take notes.
Oh, my God.
Don't worry. It's like 4 things.
Okay, great. What are your
first
notes?
Off, here's just something a little fun. I went to the Patriots game yesterday.
Awesome.
Really nice.
Awesome. Very cool.
I got to see it all happen because my dad's been a Patriots fan since forever, and he's like 45, so.
Very cool. Very good. Was that your first ever football game?
What? My dad's company has a box. I'm sorry, I'm spoiled.
Yes, I know. We all know you're fucking spoiled. We already know this. That's amazing, though. That's cool. It's cool you got to go to what was it, SummerSlam or Royal Rumble you went to? It's cool you got to go to that. You're dying out on me, Wolfie. All right.
Wait,
your connection's awful, so hurry up and get to your notes.
My connection's so mine is too. Okay, is there a rule in baseball that you have to play, that each player has to play in a home game?
That every player has to play? What do you mean?
Like, if there's 2 teams playing, does one of them have to be at a home stadium?
Yes. I mean, but it's happened in baseball before where they have moved games because of natural disasters or other reasons to a neutral site. That has happened, and they didn't. They could have done this in this situation. They chose not to.
Game. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Also, I agree with your thing about Roger Goodell because my brother and I were both very pissed when Gronk got suspended. I've been a Patriots fan for 13 years.
Yes, I know. I know you like the Patriots. Yes, Roger Goodell's awful. He's the worst commissioner ever.
Good on that. And I rewatched the whole Serena Williams situation.
Yeah.
And I went on Instagram right after it because I'm a weeb. And all I did was I got 2 posts. One of them was from one of the best tennis players at school who was like, it's both of their fault. He was willing. He said what you said. And the other one, 2 into the situation.
I lost you. I lost you.
Where did you lose me?
I don't know. Go back about 10 words.
The other one tried to bring Me Too into the situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody's bringing it into it. Some people are making it a sex thing, on gender. Some people are making it on race. I mean, they're doing anything they can to take it away from what the actual situation was. An out-of-control situation between the biggest star in the sport, who's always been known as an emotional player, and a line judge who simply did not do the job he should have done. But it really shouldn't have been more than that. And Serena did cause it to be more than that. So I give her a little bit more onus. But this is one of those things that would not have ever been a fucking situation 10, 15 years ago. But now, where it's, you have all these things that have happened. You can't even have the look, the possibility of favoritism in any way based on anything, even if it's just a basic perception, or you're going to get buried. Basically, what's going to happen is women are going to have to judge the women and men are going to have to judge the men. But even that in itself is sexist. It doesn't make sense.
It's a full circle.
It's full circle. But it's where we're going.
It's basically real life is turning into a giant Tumblr.
Yeah. Isaiah Ross, Dave, people always weaponize and pervert social issues, and we let them. You're 100% right. And it is something that has always happened. It's not like it's a new thing. It's a new wave. But again, the world that we live in now, where it can be weaponized in a whole new way because of social media, because we have the 24-hour news cycle that we've had a long time, but it's gone more than that, where it's instant reactions.
Exactly.
Information doesn't take time to travel anymore. And you have to adjust your mindset to that, because you can't go by the same rules as before, or we have these type of messes over everything. It's insanity. It's craziness.
Yeah, like, wait to get facts. Like, there's a t-shirt I saw, I think it was another YouTuber's merch that says, why use facts when you can use your feelings as facts? And I'm like, that's exactly what this world's becoming. Should we be worried? Should we be...
Of course we should be worried. But you know
how
what?
are we going to fix this?
Well, that's what you got to figure out, because you're the one, your generation, your age group, you're the ones who are going to inherit all this shit. All the stuff that we're fucking up, and the people right above you that are bringing in, you know, the David Hoggs of the world and all of that. That's shit you're going to have to fucking deal with. So,
damn it.
Hopefully I'll be dead.
There goes my career. There goes my career in the music industry.
Hopefully I'll be dead as fuck. I know I'm giving myself a very short lifespan, but look at me.
How old are you?
I'm 35. 35
please.
going on 60.
What the fuck?
All right, Wolfie. Anything else? Final thoughts?
You say, well, I think that's everything, and maybe I should start taking notes more often.
Sure, you did a good job. This is one of your best calls. Good job.
Flagging my banner for my Patriots thing in
Now
your face
get out of
right
here
now.
with that shit. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Wolf girl, everybody. Wolf girl. That girl takes a lot of shit, and she continues to come back. I like her. I got respect for her. PVS Sweetie Pie, what's going on? Respect Whammons. Welcome back, by the way, Dave. Thanks a lot. The owners appear to he is still employed. What? All right, McCod. Whatevs. Let's see. Caught the butt end of the show, says Greenish Rainbow, all that good stuff. Hey, I appreciate everybody today. Thank you guys for being here. Good little show. Did about an hour and 10 minutes. Talked about a whole lot of things. I want to give you a quick reminder. The Tonkasaw amazing fucking GoFundMe that he did for this cute little tiny cat is right there in the chat. Make sure you guys go support it if you are so inclined. I want to go throw a couple of bucks to make sure this cat has a good life. You're going to get your good wings for the day. You're going to be able to say, I'm a good guy or good gal today. And don't you want to do that? Good work by Tonka on that one. I got to give him some props. It was good stuff. Let's see. Do I have it still? Yeah, there you go. There's Einstein needs to be saved. Go give Einstein some love. And that's all Tonkasaw is doing. Give him some love for that as well. Real Talk about it for Messiah, of course. Thanks for being in chat again, man. It's been a while since we got to catch up, my brother. We really do. Thank you for everybody who has supported. Thank you for the people who donated today. You guys have been awesome. More important than ever before, that you guys just support the show in any way possible. We're coming back. We're getting back into our groove. We're starting to get all of our shows. The co-hosts come back this week, baby. Don't worry, Isaiah. The Cardi B Nicki Minaj drama will be covered on Wednesday as my favorite gay in the whole world, Tobes, comes back on. Tomorrow, Faye is returning. We're going to be doing the YouTube stuff, all the YouTube stuff that we missed. We're going to cover it all tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Faybel's going to be here. The Fayenicorn. Can't wait for that. Tobes on Wednesday. Assburger on Thursday. And on Saturday, Ryan CrimsonStudios himself will be here. And it's going to be amazing. Friday, we may have a very, very, very special guest doing some wrestling with me, which is going to be good. So much. Going to be great. Thank you guys for all the support. And we'll see you next time. I think that about wraps it up. I think Tommy's still live over in his arcade. Go check him out. Give him some love and tell him the Fat Man says, "What up, motherfucker?" And don't forget, as always, if you don't have talent, have those talented friends. Keep it copious, folks. Wait a minute. Wait, and peace.